Although the original Mario Kart 8 is coming up on a decade since its initial release, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the Booster Course Pass have gotten even more people talking about the game than ever. But with the end of the Booster Course Pass quickly approaching at the end of this year, let's talk about the hypothetical possibility of a Booster Course Pass 2. Firstly, let's get into the why of it all. Why might we see a Booster Course Pass 2, and what precedents lead me to believe that there's a non-zero chance that we get news about it later this year? Firstly, let's go over a few things that I've seen pointed out over the course of the last few months, since Wave 4 released. We saw a bit of an odd change when it came to the trailer for Wave 4. Towards the end of each trailer, we have gotten a bird's eye view look at what is to come in all 6 waves, with old tracks being displayed and future ones hidden behind question marks. But one thing that was changed in the Wave 4 trailer was the circle that promoted the inclusion of 48 courses coming to the game. In Waves 1 through 3's trailers, that's all it said, but in the new Wave 4 trailer, it now reads Waves 1 through 6, 48 courses. Now, this could come off as reading into it too much, and maybe I am, but why would they feel the need to clarify this late into the pass's lifespan, that just Waves 1 through 6 would include these 48 tracks? What if, hear me out, they're setting up for an additional expansion to the Booster Course Pass, including more waves? But Matt, where would they get all these necessary tracks? Funny you should ask that. See, there's currently 41 courses in Mario Kart Tour that are not already in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not to mention more new courses seemingly being released on the regular, so there's no shortage whatsoever of courses to choose from Nintendo's point of view. Not to mention all the new Nitro and City tracks they've been pumping out into these later waves. It really seems that they've really taken what looked like a way to increase profits by just porting Tour tracks in Wave 1 to actually make these last few waves valuable with upgraded visuals, new features such as custom items, and even the addition of new racers. The team seems to have really found their pace, and it might just make sense to extend the life of their best-selling game on their current system even longer with new content. The Switch's future lineup of games is looking more bare bones than a bear's actual bones, so a Booster Course Pass doesn't just seem likely to me, but it actually seems very possible. And there's precedent for this kind of thing as well. Just look at Smash Ultimate's Fighter Pass 2. It's not out of the question. So now that I've explained why I believe it's possible we get a Booster Course Pass 2, what exactly do I think it might look like? Firstly, I don't think we get 6 more waves. While there are many tracks in Mario Kart Tour left, I wouldn't go as far to say that we need all of them in Mario Kart Deluxe. Many of them are just variations of other tracks in the game like NES Mario Circuit, or just redundant tracks like Luigi's Raceway. So with all that being said, I say we slash the 48 courses in the pass down to 32 in Pass 2. That would be 8 cups over 4 waves in total. While that sounds like a downgrade, I personally think that's a perfect amount. That would leave us with 10 waves and a total of 128 tracks in 8 Deluxe. And personally, I think they could sell it for $25 just like Pass 1, because number one, I already think $25 for 48 tracks was already a steal, but I also think they could even add more content to Pass 2, like new items, characters, and battle courses that I'll get into in a second. But firstly, let's discuss the tracks I'd suspect to see in Pass 2. But before we do that, I want you all to think of a number 1 through 10. You got it? Okay. If it was even, I want you to subscribe right now. If it was odd, I want you to laugh at all the even number pickers in the comments who had to subscribe. And if you didn't pick a number, you're just pretty lame, and I hope you understand that. Anyways, back to the video. With Pass 2, I suspect we might continue to get more Tour City tracks. They're not my favorite, but it is cool seeing real-life influences be added to Mario Kart, although there won't be any more city tracks waiting to be added once Pass 1 concludes. I'd say the best confirmation of a new pass coming would be an overflow of city tracks being added to Tour right now. We are currently waiting on 5 city tracks in 8 Deluxe, and so far, 3 are waiting in Tour. So hypothetically, if we get 3 more new city tracks in Tour, that all but confirms Pass 2's existence in my head. But anyways, getting off that tangent, I'd suspect we'd get 1 city track per wave, not cup. It takes a lot of work to make an entirely new track, so I wouldn't suspect we'd get one every cup this time around, but who knows. There also aren't any new data mining updates regarding new city tracks, besides Madrid most likely being one of the last 2 city tracks. So it might be likely they're wrapping up on the city tracks, but here we live in delusional optimism, so let's just hope that isn't true. Next is new tracks, and if I'm being completely honest, I've got no updates here as well. I would suspect with a new pass would come new Nitro tracks, but that's just complete speculation at this point. I'd say 1 new Nitro track along with 1 new city track sounds pretty reasonable, so the ratio of each wave would hypothetically go 1 Nitro track, 1 city track, and 6 retro tracks, which in total would leave leave us with 4 nitro tracks, 4 city tracks, and 24 retro tracks. Speaking of retro tracks, let's talk about leaks, or data mines. Are those words interchangeable, or are they like Kleenex and tissue? Either way, these data mines regarding new old tracks coming to tour are spicy, so let me fill you in. Firstly, SNES Ghost Valley 3, then GBA Luigi Circuit, and finally, Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo from Mario Kart 7. There's also Luigi Stadium, Grumble Volcano, Music Park, DK Jungle, and Water Park, but all of those are already in 8 Deluxe, and I'm pretty sure none of you really care that they're coming to tour, so yeah, let's move on. So anyways, if you add these 4 data mine courses to the 41 courses that I mentioned earlier that are already in tour but aren't in 8 Deluxe, we are then left with this list of 45 courses. Pretty cool, huh? Now, let's cut this list all the way down to 24. Firstly, we've got to condense all of the Ditto tracks from the SNES and GBA games. I understand they're different layouts, but realistically, they're only going to use one of them in the game, and while you're at it, get rid of SNES, Mario Circuit, and Donut Plains. They already have a version in the game. We don't need another one. Now, we're at 34. And while the Booster Course Pass is almost over, we still have 2 more waves left, and for reasons I explained in this previous video, I believe Vanilla Lake, Sunset Wilds, Daisy Cruiser, DK Mountain, Dino Dino Jungle, Koopa Cape, and Wii Rainbow Road will all more than likely make it into waves 5 and 6 of the Booster Course Pass. So just like that, we took 45 potential courses and already narrowed it down to 27. Take out your 3 least favorites, and right there is a list of all the potential courses we could see in a potential Pass 2. There's some pretty good standouts and fan favorites still on this list, including Airship Fortress, Shy Guy Bazaar, and Maka Woohoo, and I still think there's more to come throughout the year. So while this isn't an exact list, I think it's still a pretty good representation of what Booster Course Pass 2 would potentially look like. But what if courses weren't all? Let's get crazy and talk about what else we might be seeing. I think it's likely we could get a new character with each new wave. Pass 1 seemingly did this retroactively by adding 6 new character slots to the roster. So I think with 4 new potential waves, I could see 4 more character slots added to the game. I also think that we might be getting a new item along with Pass 1 and 2, because the new custom items menu has 2 open slots. If they're making 2 passes, it would only make sense to add 1 new item to each pass. I won't even go into what items they could be adding because we've already got a video covering that you can check out later, but I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. Finally, let's discuss battle courses. It is a bit jarring going from the plethora of courses in racing and then opening up the battle mode and only seeing 8 courses. I think 2 new battle courses with each new wave makes complete sense. So if there's 4 waves, that would total up to 8 battle courses, doubling what we've already got in the game to 16. Right now on tour, we've got a New York Minute and Paris Promenade battle course. We've also got GBA Battle Course 1, and we've got Cookie Land and Twilight House from the GameCube and DS respectively. All of those sort of make sense, so why not throw them in with whatever battle courses they decide to throw in, because right there we've got like 5 and just 3 more and we're good to go. So finally, when could we see a Booster Course Pass 2 announcement? I'd honestly say any day now. Wave 5 is surely right around the corner, and I could easily see them making an announcement along with that. More than likely, I would expect the announcement to actually come with Wave 6, however, because it would make more sense to sell us new content once the last of Pass 1 has been released. But I could see it realistically whenever Nintendo feels like it, because that's just the way they do things. Anyways, I hope you found this all pretty interesting. If you want to learn more about Waves 5 and 6 and why I think I've actually nailed down what exactly those final tracks are going to be, click this video on the left. If you're more interested in hearing our wacky ideas for new Mario Kart items, click the video on the right. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure, except not really at all. So go watch either of the videos. All right, see ya.